come down to your mats, go ahead and come onto your backs. And I always like to start out with a stretch. Maybe you've already done that, maybe you don't need to. Maybe you need to roll side to side or up and down, whatever your body needs to do right now to release. I'm really sore. I think I might have done too much over the weekend. So whatever you need to do to kind of work out any kinks, you can do that. And then just take a moment on your mat in a comfortable position. If you want to be like in a savasana, or if you want to bend your knees, that always feels good on my back. If you want to hug your knees into your chest, whatever. Just get comfortable for a moment and go ahead and close your eyes. And just notice where you're making contact with the mat. So notice if maybe one shoulder blade is popping up and needs to be rolled down and back. Notice if your head is going to one side or the other, and maybe try to center it. Notice the pressure of your hands and your feet. And then just cast an inward glance over your body, noticing your state of mind, your state of being. If you've got any of those kinks, that's okay. Notice them and just maybe bring your attention to them during the practice. See if you can maybe stretch them out, work them out, do what you need to do. And take a moment to watch your breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Finding a pattern. Ideally, through practice, you would just continue with the same breath pattern. Of course, when we do some Pilates, we'll tend to kind of modify our breath. But the idea with yoga is to flow with that breath. So it's a long inhale and a long exhale. And anytime we pause, anytime we hold a posture, see if you can come back to that. And as we're moving, if we are in a moving dynamic posture, see if you can coordinate the inhale and the exhale to those movements. So now while you're lying still is the time to just find what that pace is. As you inhale, notice if it feels like one side of your lungs is filling more than the other. If one nostril, one side is more active than the other. Wherever you are, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and a rock from side to side. So today will be, I think, my plan is sort of a fusion. I think last week we did almost completely Pilates. We'll be doing some yoga, but also some Pilates, so more of a fusion class today. And go ahead and hug your right knee into your body as you extend your left leg long, pressing it away. Roll the ankle of your right foot each direction. And then just take your shin and make circles with your hip, just moving that right leg around in a circle. Lubricating the joint, and reverse direction. And just switch, hug the opposite leg in, press the right leg away, roll the left ankle. And making big circles with your hip joint, one direction and the other direction. Just lubricating that joint, getting some mobility through there. And place both feet on the floor, bending the knees, drawing the belly button in, palms into the mat. Inhale as you tilt the pelvis, tilt the hips. Go ahead and raise the arms as you raise the hips. Arms stretch overhead. Exhale, everything comes back down. And there's some resistance with both your arms and your legs. So you're not flinging your arms up, nor are you just dropping them down. We're lifting against resistance and pressing back down with resistance. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. inhale up, go ahead and leave the arms where they are. Just inhale up and bring your hips up. Roll those shoulders behind you. Keep your palms on the mat so you're not under your body, you're just beside your body. If you need to, walk your feet a little closer to your glutes. Press the hips up, making sure our knees are parallel, so our knees aren't flopping out nor knocking in. Chin slightly towards the chest. Sometimes there's a tendency to look to the ceiling, so just tilt that chin downwards. Imagine that soft peach between your chin and your chest. So we're going to do a series we've done before. We're going to do some pulses from here, and then we're going to do one leg. When you do one leg, you have the option of modifying it with a bent knee, or you can extend the leg. It's more challenging, okay? Your decision, and of course you could skip one leg and just do with 2 feet on the ground the whole time. So starting with feet flat on the floor, we're just going to pulse. So we're not going all the way down and all the way up. You're mostly at the up position, and then you're just pressing a little higher, and you're really contracting the glutes as you squeeze up. So we're constantly engaged because we're lifted. We have a nice stretch of our spine because we're lifted. And then as you pulse up, you're really working those gluteal muscles. So we're starting to fire on those muscles, inhaling and exhaling. I probably said before, when you have these big, big, big muscles, sometimes small movement is actually what's most effective for them. I can't give you the why for that. You just know that that is often the case. Sometimes it's a little movement to target the big muscle, like our glutes. And now, option to come up on the balls of your feet and continue that pulsing. And so we'll be doing that same pattern. Oh, it says connection unstable. Hopefully you guys can still see me. We'll be doing that same pattern with 1 foot at a time. Flat foot and then up on the ball of your feet. Foot. And again, you can just be doing the steady inhales and exhales. You don't need to pulse the breath with the pulse of the movement. You could, but it's just nice to keep doing that yoga breath. Okay, coming back down onto your heels, extending the either tabletop or extending the right leg with a flexed foot. And we're going to pulse, pulse, pulse. It's like you're trying to press something into the ceiling. So we're not kicking, we're not jerking. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up on the ball of your left foot and point your right toes and continue the pulsing. It's like you couldn't reach it with your heel, but if you point your toe, maybe you can reach to the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg down. Both feet flat on the floor. Left leg to tabletop or extend and pulse. Continuing just regular yoga breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Really flexing that foot to get a hamstring stretch. If your leg doesn't go all the way straight, that's okay, but the reason I have you flexing your foot is to really get a nice stretch behind the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Up on the ball of your right foot, pointing your left toe, and pulse. The more you stay lifted, the less you go into your back. That's why I want you to do it from here. You know, I never want you straining that low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. All right, and we are going to do the hundreds to get the blood pumping a little bit. So extending the arms straight up from shoulders, extending the legs, and then you're going to lower them down as low as you can without arching the back. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, fingers or arms are parallel to the floor. I'm going to lower a little more. You could modify in tabletop. And begin to pulse as you inhale and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Remember, you're keeping your abdominal area super, super stable. You're contracting those abs so that you're not moving your whole body as you pulse. You keep pulsing when I tell you a story. If you didn't see it, Katie Ledecky, the swimmer, Olympic swimmer, swam the length of the pool with a glass of milk, chocolate milk on her head. That's how stable she is in the water as she's kicking and moving her arms. She had a snorkel on so she didn't have to turn her head to breathe. And I was like, man, it's actually possible. This is not anything like swimming in a pool. So we actually should do this with a glass on our stomach. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think if I did that, I would go viral. Probably not. Inhale and exhale. One last time. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Hug your knees into your chest and just do a few rocks all the way up, all the way down, just to massage the spine. As long as it feels good. This feels great on my spine. If you don't love it, don't do it. And make your way to tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I'll face this way today. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, belly button pulled in. Couple of cow cats. Warming up that spine. Again, it's that same pattern. Inhaling, working through cow. Exhaling, working through cat. Breath. Married to movement. Good. Find your way to neutral again. Belly pulled in, back relatively flat. Extend right arm, left leg. Balancing here. Okay, so sometimes we move our spine with this, sometimes we don't. Tonight, I want you to not. So imagine Katie Ledecky's glass of chocolate milk is now on your back. So don't move your spine and draw knee and elbow towards one another. For me, they don't actually meet because I would have to start rounding my spine and then extend back out. Exhale to come in, inhale out. Two more. Last one, extend it out, bring that hand to the mat, scorpion push-ups, we'll do 5. Elbows hug the ribs as you dip down, nose towards the floor, exhale, press up. Inhale, so you're like a teeter-totter, a seesaw, your whole body tilts down and back up. Elbows stay really close to the ribs. I think that was 4, so last one. Good, curl the toes under, press up to a plank position, that leg is still lifted. Option to put that leg down, option to come to knees in a modified plank. Inhale and exhale. And then pulse that leg. Little lifts with that leg, squeezing up, up, up. Belly button, and not a big kick. I saw someone the other day doing this with something else and they were really kicking up. And that is just gonna get in your back. Don't want that. Press up, 3-legged down dog, really stretching that leg nice and high. Inhaling, exhaling. We're gonna bring right knee to right elbow, so opening up our hip 5 times. So hinge forward, knee comes to elbow on the outside and kick back up. Knee to elbow and extend. Knee to elbow. 2 more times. Last one, kick up. This time bring the foot to the outside of the right foot. We're going to prepare for lizard pose. So if you have a block, you can certainly use your block. You can always drop down on your back knee here. Otherwise, bring your forearms either to the block or to the mat, and that left leg can stay up or it can go down. Notice my knee is over my ankle, okay? If your foot's way back here, just scooch it forward. If it's super awkward to be on your forearms, I advise a block, but if you need to, if you don't have anything handy, just come up on your hands. And then your shoulder pushes against that inner right thigh, opening up your hip. Your foot stays on the ground. Try not to roll your foot. Try to keep it planted on the mat. So you're just getting that stretch in the inner thigh. Nice breath. Good. Press yourself back up. Move that foot to the middle so that your hands are squaring off your foot. Now you're in a traditional runner's lunge. Step the right foot back, coming to plank. Lower all the way down to the mat, chest, chin, hips. Inhale, sliding the hands forward, coming up and pausing in Sphinx for a moment. Peeling your belly button away from the mat. Shoulders pulling down and back, contracting the glutes. So you're really squeezing this lower part of your body. And release that down. Push yourself up and back. Just one breath in child's pose. And then come back to hands and knees. Extend right arm, left leg. Belly button pulling in. Same thing, see if you can keep your back from rounding and arching as you draw knee towards elbow and extend. Draw it in and extend. So when we do it this way, where I'm asking you to keep the spine stable, it's more about working the abdominal muscles. When we move the spine, it's more about working on spinal mobility. Last time, so they both serve different purposes. Place the hand down. And the idea oftentimes when I have you do these things is actually just that mind-body connection. Can you feel the difference between rounding your spine and not rounding your spine? They're both okay. I want you to be able to know the difference. 5 scorpion push-ups, hinging forward, kiss the mat, press back up. If you don't make it to the mat, that's fine. It can be a half push-up. 3, 2. These should be easier than regular push-ups, so it prepares our muscles. And press up into plank. Again, option to put that left foot down, option to come to knees. The worst thing to do is be having your hips drop or be out of alignment here. Modify so it's best for you. And then pulsing that leg, little squeezes. Again, not a big kick up, just down towards the mat, back up to hip height. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't see Tess. Did Tess not manage to get back on? I see everybody else. Hinging left knee to left elbow. Open up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time stepping that left foot forward, planting it down. Again, knee over ankle. Option to release the back knee onto the mat. Option to grab a block to bring yourself to forearms. The block can really help because you can be elevated. Something about being on your forearms makes the stretch better than being on your hands. That's another one. I don't exactly know the why, but the way it just is in your body, you get a better stretch if you can come on forearms, even if those forearms are up on a block. So hold here and breathe. No Tess. Or is Tess there and I just can't see her? Oh, you are there. Okay, good. For some reason your box is not up. All right. Okay. Sorry guys, just wanted to make sure we were all present and accounted for. Breathing into lizard. Maybe you love lizard pose. Most people don't. It's sort of uncomfortable. But it's a good hip opener. Good, and then rise back up to that runner's lunge. Wriggle that left foot in, squaring off your foot with your hands. And step that left foot back, coming to plank, lowering all the way down to the mat. And then we're going to do a little exercise here. So with your hands right under your shoulders, squeezing your feet together, gluteals contracted. Without pressing into your hands, I just want you to lift up and lower down. So it's a small movement. Inhale to lift up. You're just coming to the babiest of baby cobras without using your hands. So it's your breath, inflating the lungs and your glutes and your back. And now to make it a bit deeper, inhale to lift. When you can't lift anymore, press your hands in and just come up to as much of a cobra as you want to. Lower down, and when you're able, release the hands to bring yourself down. Inhale, press into the hands, up to cobra. Exhale, release the hands and bring yourself back down. 3 more times. Inhale, pressing up, shoulders are back, elbows never leave the side of the body. They're hugging, hugging, hugging into the rib cage. And last one, inhale up to your cobra. Release it down. Curl your toes under. Push yourself up and back. Come to child's pose. Sorry. I got discombobulated. Take a breath in child's pose. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now rise up. Come to puppy happy posture for a moment. So reaching the hands further forward. Now curl those toes under. Sit back towards your heels, reaching the hands out, pushing the hips back, letting the head release down. Long stretch through the spine. And then draw the hands back just a touch so you can come up to your downward facing dog. Bending one knee, bending the other knee. Alternating for a little bit of a jog. And then press both hands into the mat. Make sure you're rolling shoulders out away from the ears. Engaging the muscles of the back. Lifting the sit bones to the sky. Give your head a shake, yes. A nod, I should say, and a shake, no. And then walk your feet towards the top of your mat, letting your head hang over. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows if that feels good to release your spine. A little bit of a bend in your knees here so your spine is rounded over. And then release the arms, just let yourself hang, nice deep bend in your knees, and roll yourself all the way up. Deep inhale, extending the arms as you lift up. Exhale, bringing the hands behind the back. So either hands to the waist, wrapping around your waist, or hands can go up your back or hands can go down your back. Doesn't matter. Depends on what's comfortable, probably based on the size of your hands. It's just they're there to support your hips and your low back. So contracting your quadriceps, contracting your gluteals, push your hips forward, pull your elbows together for a little bit of a back bend. So you're opening the chest towards the sky, keep the hips forward, let the head drop back or at least just up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing the glutes so you don't hurt your back. Good, and bring yourself up to standing. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, stretch through your spine so it's like you're reaching to the wall in front of you, reaching, and then melt all the way down. Inhale, slide up, Ardha Uttanasana, so hands to shins and pause. So this is another moment where you could have a glass on your back. So if we're rounding through our spine, it would of course fall off. Sometimes the upper back will round, and the best imagery I have heard is just think about pulling whatever clothing you're wearing away from your upper back. Can you make that t-shirt pull away from your back? Can you make the tank top pull away? It won't in real life, obviously. But if you were trying to do that, it would be that sensation to flatten out this upper back. And release that down, once again bending the knees and rolling yourself up. All right, so we're going to do a fair amount of balance today. We're going to do a few sun salutations, and then we're going to do some work on one leg for both strength building and balance, which are both very important. All right, to the top of the mat, hands at heart center. So if you've lost that breath, find it again. Take a couple of inhales and exhales. Water asana through the nose. Take a moment to feel yourself here on the mat. Close your eyes for a minute and notice your feet on the mat. Shift your weight forward so you're kind of on the balls of your feet, leaning slightly forward. Shift your weight backwards so you're kind of on your heels, your toes might come off the mat. And then find yourself in the middle, where your weight is even on the balls of your feet and your heels. And now to the same side, just hinge, the same thing to the side. Hinge slightly to one side, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Notice the weight on that foot. And then shift to the other side, noticing the weight on that foot. And then see if you can come back to center and see if you can distribute your weight evenly in all four corners of both feet. Belly button in, gluteals in, neutral spine. Hips parallel to the floor, so you're not tilting forward, not tilting backwards. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, followed by left. Plank, hold plank. Belly in. Inhale, exhale. Push-ups from here, I'm going to invite you to do tricep push-ups, so that might mean you want to go down to knees for tricep push-ups. We're going to do 5. I'm going to see if I can do it from toes. So elbows hug the body as you lower down, press up for 5. So you're not going to the mat, you're just going to a 90-degree bend of the elbows that are squeezing next to your body. 2. Last one. This time lowering to chaturanga, flipping the feet, pressing up to your up dog. You can of course modify and come to cobra. Curl the toes under, push yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg extends up. 5 hinges forward, coming out over your wrist, and kick back up. And again, and extend. For 3, for 2, the last one. Plant that foot down, coming to runner's lunge. Give yourself a stretch through that back leg. Left hand plants on the mat as the right arm reaches up. Bring the gaze up to the ceiling. Breathing into the twist. Big circle with the arm for 3, for 2, for 1. This time bring it all the way around, squaring off. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side, inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Left foot steps back. Followed by right, coming to plank, holding plank. Same option to drop to knees, 5 push-ups. Tricep push-ups, so the elbows are hugging the ribs for 5, 4, 3. If your hips are dropping, come to knees. Much, much better to do that than sacrifice form. This time lowering down, chaturanga, hovering, flipping the feet, pressing up, upward facing dog. That should be really hard. Curl the toes under, press back. You've held your plank and then done those 5 push-ups. That chaturanga, you might just find yourself flopping onto the mat. That's okay. That's a lot on the triceps. The more you tighten and engage your core, the easier it is. Take some of the work out of the triceps. Extend the left leg. 5 hinges forward. Inhale to come out over the wrist and exhale, kick back. For 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, foot plants in the mat, runner's lunge. Always checking that the knee is over the ankle. Right hand plants, turn, extend, and twist. 3 big circles. 3, 2, 1. This time the hand plants down, right foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Option 2, step right foot followed by left, or power yoga style, jump 2 feet back, finding plank. Chaturanga, lowering down, flipping the feet, pressing up dog. Exhale, pressing back, down dog. Coming to high lunge, right leg swings forward, steps down, rising up to your lunge. Good, pressing back through the left foot, chest is open. Okay, so we're going to begin the series of what I was talking about with moving through our postures. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so I'm a little more centered for you guys. We're going to take this first into a warrior 3. So you're going to launch onto the right foot as you extend your arms out in front of you, press the left leg behind you. You can modify the arms if you need, but they're going to be integrated in the movement. And if you ever need a break, just tap that left foot down. You're drawing knee to elbows, just like we did on all 4s. So both arms come in as the knee comes to the chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 7, 6, 5, staying nice and steady. 4, this is so much core. 3, 2, last one, come out, hold warrior 3, pressing the arms away, pressing the leg away, and then step that leg down, coming back to our high lunge. Ooh, I almost fell over as I turned to look at y'all. We're gonna dip down towards the mat, moving arms and legs. So we're squeezing the arms as the knee drops down and press up. 9 and 8, 7, 6. Remember, focus more on bending the back knee rather than the front knee. The front knee is just along for the ride. Never tracking over toes. Last one. Good. Release the arms. Hinge forward for a moment in power lunge. Stretch that back long. Okay, so this is going to be something of a repeater. We're going to come from power lunge, come up, knee comes to chest. So it's going to look like this, and then step back down. Okay? If arms up is easier for balance, you can do that too. That would look like that. Okay? So you decide. We're going to do 10 of them. Arms up, arms down. Your choice. Ready? Up for 10. I kind of like up. 9, 8, 7. If you wobble like I just did, pause and come back. Definitely don't talk while you do this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, back to your power lunge. Excellent. Warrior 2. Opening out. Hips are open, right knee is bent, out over that right ankle. Shoulders are squeezing together. Side angle bend, reverse warrior. Side angle bend, and reverse the warrior. Hand comes behind the back. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more with movement. Last one. This time coming down to the mat. Hands square off that foot, runner's lunge. Step the right foot back, coming to plank. Hold in plank. And then we're going to come to a side plank on our left. So I'm going to move my left hand to the middle of the mat. Rotate onto my left. You can drop that left knee down if you want. Option to extend the arm, or it can stay where it is. Option to lift the leg, or it can stay down. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate that back. Square off the hands again. Chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. Heels to the mat, shoulders down and back. Taking a breath. And when we do these, I know we move more quickly, and I wobble, so sometimes you wobble. So don't worry if you're behind a beat or two, because we'll always take pauses and you can always catch up. So don't stress about that. We're not the Rockettes. We don't need to be in sync. All right, left leg lifts up. Swings forward, plants down, rising up to your high lunge. Everyone with me? And then we're going to take this to our warrior 3. So launching onto the left foot, arms extend. I'm just going to step back again. Arms extend, right leg is extended. And we bring arms to knee. Hug it in for 10. 8, 7, 5, 3. Last one, extend out, press through the heel, lengthen through the spine, belly button pulls in, hold it, and then step that foot back, coming to your high lunge. I really need to not look at you guys and not look at where I am on the mat. And balance. I'm trying to stay camera center. All right, we're going to dip down, bending the knee, drop down, and up, down, and up. Never tracking out over the toes. I often say it's like sliding up and down a pole, which is a slightly indelicate way of looking at this, but it's the best I got. I always think of like the carousel, those ponies that go up and down. That's all you are. 3, 2, last one, rise up, power lunge. So again, your option is to have your hands down or up. I don't mind. It's more about what works for balance for you. For some reason, I liked them better up in the air rather than here. When you're ready, bringing knee to chest, pegging in, whoop, and back for 9, 7, 5, 3, last one, and pause on your lunge. Whew, those are hard for your balance and on your core. Try it talking and turning your head to look at your audience. Open this out, warrior 2. Shoulders down and back, belly in. Nice deep bend. Even though warrior 2 is a challenging pose, this should feel like something of a break for a second here. All right, side angle bend. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 3 more times. 2 more. Last one. Cartwheel that down to the floor, squaring off the foot, stepping the left foot back, finding plank, holding plank. Keep holding, scooching the mat. Right hand to the middle of the mat, coming onto your right side. Push the hip up, option to extend the arm, option to lift the leg. Belly button in. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate that back down, plank, lowering all the way down, chaturanga, up to up dog. Curl the toes under, back to down dog. And breathe. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, pressing the palms into the mat. Bend the back knees, the only knees, and extend the legs. Down dog squat, bending the knees, and extend. 3, and 2. Last one, bending the knees, option to step the right foot forward followed by left, or hop 2 feet forward. Forward fold, inhale, lifting halfway, exhale, release, inhale, all the way up, exhale, hands to heart. Coming to chair, forward fold, halfway lift, flat back, exhale, release, hands find the mat, option to step the left foot followed by right, or hop 2 feet, back to plank. Holding plank. Belly in. Use the inhale and the exhale. We're going to hold this plank 30 seconds all together. As you exhale, the abdominal muscles contract. Five more seconds. And chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, right leg extends up, bend the right knee, drop it towards the other side, opening up through the hip. Option here to stay right where you are or flipping the dog. Right knee is bent, left leg is extended in Wild Thing. Push the hips up. Arm reaches over, and we're going to do some dips here. So we drop the hips and press back up for 4, 3, 2. Last one, lifting up, pivoting back over, right leg extends high, 3-legged down dog. Swing the right leg forward, coming up into warrior 1 this time. So back foot is planted, but rotated at an angle. Hips are forward, knees bent as much as you want. Let's bring the hands to heart center to start. Bring the hands behind the back, clasping them together, coming to humble warrior. Arms reach overhead. Stretching the shoulders. Pressing back up, finding warrior 2. Deep inhale and exhale. Side ankle bend, option to take this deeper. So you've got to really bend through the front knee. If you have a block, the block could come onto the floor, or you can bring your hand to the floor, but make sure you're not rounded here. If you look at my back, it's like I'm pressed between 2 panes of glass. Chest is open, back is long and flat. If you're here and you can keep the integrity of your spine, that right arm can come underneath and come to a bind in the back. But don't worry about binding if it's all weird and awkward. Better to stay where you were. I just want to show it to you to give you an option. Turn the head, looking past the left shoulder at the ceiling. Good, releasing that. Hands find the mat. Step the right foot back, plank. Coming to side plank again. Left hand to the center of the mat, pivoting over into your plank. That left knee can drop down onto the mat. This time, arm reaches overhead. Through the body, knee to elbow, drawing in for 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do 5 more. We need to do 10 of these. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring that hand back down, coming back to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg extends up, bend that knee, dropping it towards the opposite side, stacking left hip on top of right. Think about lifting through your left knee. That will get that hip more open, especially if you're tight through here. Flip that over. Left foot finds the floor. Right leg goes long. Press the hips up. Arm reaches overhead. Dip down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Press up. Flip over. And swing that left foot forward. Rising up. Warrior 1 on this side. So back foot plants. Hips are forward. Chest is square forward. Hands behind the back, clasp them together, hinging forward. Arms reach overhead. Humble warrior. Rising back up, opening that out, warrior 2. Staying lifted through here, shooting energy, arms are strong. Side angle bend. So option 1, you come to your thigh. If you can get down to the mat or to a block without changing this, go for it. And then if you want, you bind. But you should not be rounding your body to bind. You should be able to turn that head and look towards the ceiling. If not, please work with your hand on the block, on the mat, or up on your thigh. Releasing that down, finding plank. Coming to side plank on the other side. Right hand comes down, shifting over to your right side plank. Left arm reaches out. Lift the left leg, crunch it in for 10, 9, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, bring that hand down, plank, chaturanga, up to cobra, or down dog, up dog, geez, back to down dog. You could do cobra. Cobra or up dog. And then we're going to bend our knees. We're going to hop forward, separate your feet like a duck, and then bend your knees into your deep yogi squat. So if you need to sit on a block for this, totally cool. Try to stay long through the spine. So if you find that you're all rounded over, it might be better to sit on something and elevate you so that your spine can be lifted. Press your arms against your inner thighs. And I am going to give you the option to come to crow tonight if you would like Bakasana. So again, I'm just going to scoot back a little bit so that I'm more centered. So Bakasana is one of the balance postures, one of the arm balances. So if you're working on it, just be careful with your wrists. I hurt myself when I did too many of these, so you don't want to hurt yourself. Don't overdo it. Spread your fingers so you have a nice base of support. And then you start by just coming out over the wrists. Those wrists come to a 90-degree bend. For crow, the knees are actually on the triceps. Crane, they're up in the armpits. So, I mean, they're two different postures, but do whatever is more comfortable. Crow, in theory, is easier. So you hinge forward and just start to feel that. Start to feel what the weight feels like. Maybe you lift one foot up. Maybe you lift the other foot up. Sometimes it helps to put a block in front of you just because it feels like a less scary distance to fall. I mean, you're not going to hurt yourself. You've got a mat under you, and you'll catch yourself. And if you want, you lift both feet up, trying to bring toes together, and balance for no longer than you can. If you're still in squat, just hold the squat. Can't do it too long. And everybody release back. Lift up into your squat. Come down onto your knees. We're going to come to our frog stretch. Sometimes it's helpful to have a slippy surface next to you. I'm going to not be very slidey on the rug. So if you have a hard floor near you, you can scooch over that. Basically let your knees slide away from each other just as much as you can without hurting yourself. And then notice you're on your forearms. Notice as you shift forward, it's less of a stretch. Notice as you shift back, it should feel like more of a stretch. So just find that point where you feel like you're getting a stretch, but you're not going to hurt yourself. And breathe into it. I don't know about you, but I am sweating. And I even didn't turn the air conditioner off because I forgot. I'm still sweating. All right, gently release that, bringing the knees back together. Come back onto your mat if you're not there already. And release into child's pose. Bring yourself up and bring your legs out in front of you. Sitting up tall in staff pose. Flexing the feet. Take an inhale, extending arms upwards. Exhale, hinge forward and release down. Grabbing hold of calves, shins, heels, toes, wherever you can reach. Flexing the feet gives you more of a stretch in your hamstrings. Bringing yourself up. Staying right where you are, just separate your legs a little bit. Sit up nice and tall, lateral bend. So let one arm come out to the side as the other arm drops over. For me, I like to go down into my forearm. You may or may not be able to do that. That arm can just be extended, but let it be soft. And come up through center. Sitting tall. Other side. Arm comes to the mat. Bending up and over. Think about pushing those ribs out the opposite direction. You really want to get a stretch. It's kind of why we stretch the arm over. You get a shoulder stretch, and it also accentuates that curve in the spine. Good, coming up nice and tall. Leaving the leg extended, hug the knee into the body, either one. I've got my right knee in, so I'm gonna grab around it with my left hand, bring the right hand behind the body, twist, keep flexing the left foot. Sitting up tall. Come back to center, keep bringing that leg, tuck it all the way behind you. If this doesn't work, come to tree pose with the leg against the foot against the inner thigh. Inhale, extend up, exhale, hinge forward. You want the knee to be more or less in line with the hip, but more open sometimes is a nice modification. Again, if this bothers the knee, just skip it. You can do the alternative. And coming back up, extend the right leg, or whichever leg was not extended. I've got the left leg crossed over, sitting up nice and tall, hugging that knee, and then turning hand behind. So from this angle, you can, if you're looking at me, what I see a lot of times is this, where people are leaning into that backhand, and you don't get as much of a twist. You really want to sit tall. This kickstand is just for a little bit of support, and then think about twisting. So you're pulling that back shoulder to get the full twist. And this is why it doesn't really matter if you turn your head and look over. In fact, it's probably better to just keep your head in neutral. It's more about this part of your spine that we want twisting. So this is just there to make sure you don't fall over. Come back to center, bring the left leg behind or whichever leg you've got. And again, you can come to Vrksasana here, left foot against the thigh if you want. Inhale up, exhale, release. Flexing the foot for the hamstring stretch. Bringing yourself up, both legs forward, bending the knees, extending the arms, hinging back and hold it. Belly button in, chest is lifted, arms are extended. And we're just going to lift one leg and lift the other leg. So it's just a little bit of a march, alternating legs. Keep the legs doing what they're doing. Option to make it harder, bring the arms up. And bring the arms out. Keep marching. Bring the arms back forward. Good. Place the feet on the floor. Pull the belly button in. Round the spine. There's a difference there. Long spine, rounded spine. Pull the belly button in. Roll all the way down. Give yourself a stretch. Reaching the arms above your head. Reaching the legs below. If you need to do any last posture to finish off your practice, you may. If you feel like you don't need anything else, you can come to Savasana. So if you want to do a supine twist, if you need to come to an inversion, whatever. And if none of that seems necessary, you can just come down on your back. Palms face up, separate your feet. Chin towards chest. Attention on the breath. Inhaling. Slowly exhaling. Letting that heart rate slow. Letting the breath slow. Breathing into any areas of tension. Feeling your ribs expand, feeling your belly expand. Exhale the breath slowly through nose or through lips if you'd like. Just let it go. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Roll your head side to side. Draw knees into the chest, giving yourself a little hug. Give yourself a rock from side to side. And then maybe roll to your left, which is your relaxing, cooling side. And curl over there for a moment in the fetal position. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself up to a sit. Legs crossed gently in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. Hands in your lap. And just pause for a moment. Once again, just taking stock. Now noticing your breath, noticing if you're breathing in one side more than the other. Notice where you're making contact with the mat. Notice how you feel without judgment, just awareness. Remembering that all of you have done the hardest thing, which is just to step foot on the mat. After that, the practice is never as hard as the simple act of coming to practice. So be thankful and grateful for yourself for taking the time to take care of you. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead, pressing palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Om Shanti Om. Namaste.